Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you always watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Today I wanted to bring you a little bit of piece of information. I'm out here at the Minnesota Valley National Wildlife Refuge, and I'm going to probably do a photo activation actually out of the truck. I didn't bring a lot of other equipment to do it with, but I was just kind of prepared this week as we hit some severe storms when I left to head to the Twin Cities. And so I didn't really prepare for that, but it's been a beautiful day. It's like, mostly clear skies, and just want to spend some time outside. I work inside all day long, and it just becomes a little bit of a bear. But last year in 2025, that was really kind of a hard hit for a lot of amateur radio companies, and we ended up losing two of them. And actually, it might have been even the year before we lost MFJ. And with that, we lost things like High Gain, Cushcraft, the MFJ brand, and other things that they had within their lineup. But I wanted to bring you a couple news stories that I think were kind of important, and I'm actually pretty excited about myself. Now, I will be honest, I'm not a big fan of Cushcraft, but I think I could be again. I'd helped a friend out a couple years ago, and he an AR4, I think it was AR4 antenna. It was like a 10 through 40 meter beam. It might have just been 10 through 20, but I think the 4 meant it was for 40 meters. And he just kept ordering parts, keep going back to the company and saying, hey, we're missing parts, we don't have this, we don't have that. And it wasn't a complete shipment. It was just a shit show, for lack of better terms. And it was a lot of problems, and had the wrong traps. I mean, you name it, it had wrong everything. So in kind of the excitement of that happening, I just kind of lost all respect for Cushcraft and High Gain and all those different antennas along those lines from FJ. I just thought they'd just gone downhill, and I can't go back to them. But in a major news release that came out 2 days ago, I just learned about it today. In a major expansion of its Indiana footprint, the ITU Corporation has purchased a former Linton, Linton, National Guard Armory to serve as a new manufacturing hub for High Gain and Cushcraft. They acquired these legendary brands from FJ Enterprises, and they will be bringing new 15 to 20 jobs to the Linton area. And Martin Jew of MFJ was pleased to announce the sale to them. And they are a 25-year-old, boy, I can't get that out, Indiana engineering and manufacturing company. And so it's really, vital, that I'm glad that they're bringing these vital companies back to ham radio, and they're really, making that another, hopefully, a good name, bring it back from what it has been. And, I think that they will, hopefully, they've been trusted names in the industry in amateur radio for many years. And so I think that, they've spent time on towers as well. So I think, for them to bring these companies back, or those two brands back, and produce them, I think that's going to be really important for amateur radio. I know a lot of people enjoy those antennas, and hopefully, I don't know whether if you have an old antenna, if they're going to be able to get parts or replace some of those for you, but I'm assuming they'll be able to do something along those lines. The article doesn't really list what they will do in that regards, but I would assume that probably later this year they'll do that. They're saying in this article that Cushcraft is a gold standard for antenna performance, gain, durability, and offers a wide range of antennas, rotors, and accessories. And I absolutely agree. So they will add that to their list. And the other one, it says it'll take about 2 months to complete, so it shouldn't take too long. So I would expect maybe by even Huntsville or maybe Hamcation next year, they might be able to get them to come back to some of the Hamventions and show up there. So I'm hoping, and I may even reach out to the companies and saying, hey, is this something you're willing to do? Maybe I can come get a tour at some point. I don't know. We'll just see where that all goes. I mean, that is obviously very new. It's 2 days old. So it'll take a lot to see what that's really going to boil down to. But I think that's really exciting news for the amateur radio world. And the other one is that the company that I was probably the most disappointed to hear last year was a company out of, I think it was California. I'm pretty sure that's where they're located out of, and that's SteppIR. And they, pretty much got rid of the amateur radio manufacturing side of things and went strictly to the commercial side. And for whatever reason, I will read this to you. Due to some commercial product development efforts, we believe we'll be able to introduce some new exciting products for the consumer market that will enhance all existing and future SteppIR antennas into the not too distant future. As amateur radio customers know, we exited the consumer market in June of 2025. At that time, we did not know what our exact future was. Our plan was to pursue commercial projects in search of more stable long-term income sources, but we never lost the hope of returning back to the amateur radio market. Thanks to some recent and continuing exciting developments on the commercial side, SteppIR will now be able to guarantee sales of our consumer products via online web sales. So that's cool. It will be online sales only, but we'll see. All parts and accessories that are on our website are available for purchase and will continue to be available. They're going to bring back the select antennas that will be purchased as kits on our website. The Urban Beam Yagi 40 to 6 meters, which is cool. I'd really like to have. 3-element Yagi 6 to 20 meters to 6 meters. A 4-element Yagi 20 to 6 meters. The 3E and 4E Yagi will also have the 40 and 30 loop dipole option available. We'll be selling these small verticals 6 to 20 meters and the big IR vertical 40 to 6 meters. Warranty and support services will be in our effect for these antennas, as well as any purchased parts and accessories. So that's an announcement that just came out, I'd say the last day or so as well. And it's good to see these companies returning, that they're going to come back to amateur radio. They know what they're missing on. It's 750,000 licensed amateurs in the U.S. and obviously more around the world. And we all use these antennas every day. A lot of those, like SteppIR, is for permanent setups in your home residential areas. But the Cush Cuff and high gains and stuff, they've been used on DXpeditions and around the world for years. So I'm super excited about this. I think it was great news. I hope that you enjoy this and that you found this information valuable. And make sure we support these companies. We want to keep them in existence for years again. We don't want to see them disappear. And that goes for any other company as well that might be out here for amateur radio. We want to support the small companies from, the Ham Radio Prep, World Radio League, and you can use the code Ham Radio Guy. Save yourself 10% on any of your purchases, either as a subscription to World Radio League or to Ham Radio Prep. Same thing with ABR Industries. Use the code, I believe it's Ham Radio Guy, and if it's not, I'll put the difference in the video, but of what it is, the actual correct one, it might be W0MET. But you can save money with your purchases on ABR Industries as well. We like to support those companies. Anything like Tower Electronics, John died last year. Quicksilver Radio. Tower Electronics is good too, but Quicksilver Radio died, and someone else picked that up. I believe the guy's name is Ralph. And we continue to support them, and they continue to support amateur radio and all the different ham fests that they go to throughout the year. And many more different companies like 12-volt power, Comet Diamond antennas. Their Diamond antennas is always very good. That's one of my favorite antennas around all around in amateur radio. And that I've used from HF to mostly my mobile 2 meter and 440 antennas. But I just think that's important thing that we support these companies and continue to see them grow and be successful and stick around for what we need. I hope you found this information again valuable today, and you appreciate this information coming to you. Not everybody gets to see this information. You can go out and find it publicly, obviously yourself, but you may just not hear about it in your everyday occurrences and busy life. And so I want to make sure I get this information out to you. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks for subscribing and liking the channel, and continue to grow each and every day with new subscribers. And I hope that you'll find this content valuable, and even potentially join my Patreon channel over at patreon.com/the Ham Radio Guy. I've got a lot of free new people that have subscribed to the channel over there. But to really get the full content, you need to become a subscriber. And I think in July I'm going to do marking my 5-year anniversary. We're going to do a mug and some other giveaways for joining the channel as an extra level of support. We will have some giveaways for those members joining as well. So anyway, stay more tuned for that as we come around to July. And thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.